have to accept the fact that you're not here. I wish the rain would hurry up and end, my dear. My thoughts are trapped here, beyond bracketed cerebrum. She dances less across my pad, no longer lingering in inked glory. The spark simmers, glimmering gilted thought, even less than I knew you before. Too much time elapsed, sprinting towards closed doors. I left you too many times. Your stirs of an invisible man haunts me. This tone continues to taunt me, and like Poe, I am to never to be fully accepted in society from what my pen has made of me. It's raining so hard.
Thank you. Very hard out here, but it gets better. It better.
Thank you. That actually was a poem about writing and how much I miss it. And it was really a love poem to my pen. So it will get better. I'm writing every day.
That's good. I love homes. That's the topic right there. Oh my goodness, yes. And you definitely met it. I feel that. Yes. Give me all types of inspiration. Hey. All right. Let's see, who else do we have? June, who got the memo on the hats today?
I am going to read a poem that deals with two things. One, a family situation, and the other, the creeping influence of illegal fishing. It is people who have depended on diving without any equipment. They would just dive in and get their dinner, are now having problems because very large ships are in waters where they're not supposed to be, and they're gobbling up all the fish. So this is called Free Dive in Vanuatu, a place I hope to visit one day. There was no mention of the mother placed, she watching them framed, hallowed from the shelf above the mantel in the second room, placed her presence watching, visiting, not completely gone, appreciating the flowers on the table, still in the vase, dried petals fallen like curled crepe paper, placed purposely, decorating the table for her, placed in a new arrangement. The family moves similarly to almost daily life, subdued, quietsome minds, not completely placed in the present, visiting with her, far away, train of thoughts, far away and slightly lost train of thoughts, far away and lost to her. Thoughts lost on her, they lost her. To a bargain, to a wish. It was for the men to do, but she wanted to. She had to see the color of miracles and hear the music under the sea. She had to see for herself. It was for the men to do, but she wanted to. The husband and she dove together, were together, perfectly placed, below evening lights, many nights providing life and second ecstasy. Eventually placed further and deeper placed further and deeper for less and less fish for dinner. It was harder and harder to hear the music and see the color of miracles, her lungs, beautifully placed, so small and beautiful. It was for the men to do, but she wanted to. The colors in the house seemed placed, carried to certain specific spots, quiet spots, softer, with a whispered vibrancy she would have thought odd compared to the colors of the sea. When the son comes home, the father is placed at the table directly facing her in the second room. He doesn't move. The dried flowers she appreciates are placed unmoved on the table. His train of thought far away, lost to her. He is still concerned with how they lost her.
Yes. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for letting me read.
Of course. Atlas. Hey. You're up. Do you have anything you would like to share?
Hold on one second.
Okay. Well, while Atlas has us moving on for 1 second, how is everybody doing? Wellness check. June, how are you?
A little tired, but good.
I feel that. Does it get better?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
That's
I
all
like
can
I
do.
like your pink.
Thank you.
That looks
Thank
good.
you. It's one of my favorite colors.
Yes, cheerful.
Yeah, right. Bright.
Mhm.
I like that. Oh, wait, is that yellow you have on?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling that. Yeah.
Thank
We got
you.
the colors,
Mhm.
the vibrant colors today. Atlas is blue. Mimi, what color do you have on? How are you feeling?
I feel black and beautiful.
Hey.
All black.
All right.
It's slimming. That's what I was thinking today when I went out. I was like, I'm gonna go slay in some slimming clothes.
Yes. Yes. Nice and sleek. Okay. So you feeling sleek and I feel that. Atlas, are you feeling blue?
I just normally wear like crazy, colorful clothing, and so I'm just trying to be very, very simple. But I'm getting like tons of compliments just from dressing down, so it's great.
I like the blue. I like all the color contrast that we have here. It's very nice.
We're like the Poetry Power Rangers.
I love it.
I love that. Oh, I'm gonna have to use that for something.
Because that's like how we're all like in the little HUDs. If you look at the screen, we're all like, it's true.
And the big one comes out.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right.
The Poetry Rangers. Okay, sorry.
I think I'm ready.
Okay.
You guys ready? Okay.
Ready?
I've been told far more often than I'm willing to admit that I focus on the negative aspects of everything instead of something positive. Maybe they're right. So I went as far back as was necessary in my memories to find out when I was happy, when my existence brought me joy, but not because of the absence of pain. So I put together a list, and here it is. The world I want to live in. I want to live in a world where you show someone you love them by putting your arms around their body and not just a ring around their finger. Where a woman doesn't care what kind of car a man drives She simply cares that he is driven. A world where 50-year-old couples exchange notes as though they're still 16, where neither men nor women are covered in makeup. You see, maybe she's beautiful, maybe it's Maybelline. And he's covered in makeup as well. Makes up a lie about where he lives, makes up a lie about how much money he makes. Men and women far too covered in lies to find truth in their relationships. I want to live in a world where the carnival is always in town and ice cream trucks come by more often than FedEx trucks. I want to live in a world where Carmen Sandiego and Waldo travel the world waiting for us to come and find them. Where the property value of your home is immediately doubled, so long as it is made out of Legos. A world where people realize you don't have to be in a classroom to teach. You don't have to be a soldier to protect the ones you love. You don't have to be a student to learn something new. And you don't have to carry a badge to serve your community. Because in life, it's not the role you have. It's the role you choose to play. I want to live in the world where people judge you by what you say, by what you do, by how you live, instead of simply judging you by what you say you do for a living. I want to live in a world where people are guided by their dreams and not their GPS. Maybe they wouldn't feel so lost all the time. I want to live in a world where the news is nothing more than a half an hour of them telling us all the amazing things that happened today, instead of spending over 11 hours scaring us into never leaving our home. A world where we trade all the supposed advances in technology for the hoverboards we've been waiting for since Back to the Future 2. I want to live in a world where people are more inclined to communicate with their voices than their thumbs, where people genuinely, wholeheartedly apologize, not with their words, but with their actions. And no contract in the world means nearly as much as a pinky promise. I want to live in a world where people have the luxury of being able to spend their paychecks after they've earned them, instead of having every penny accounted for before the check is printed. A world where people look for reality by looking out of their windows and their doors, instead of trying to find reality inside of a television screen or a cell phone. I want to live in a world where people realize that even though it takes a website to tell you that you have 437 friends, all it takes is a flat tire at 437 to show how many friends you really have. I want to live in a world where no one sits. Everyone stands. They stand for a cause. They stand for a purpose, or at the very least, they stand up for themselves. Do you remember where you were standing the last time you stood for anything? I want to live in a world where every street is a school zone, because people need to learn to slow down. I mean, if death is our imminent destination, why rush through life? Why rush at all? I want to live in a world where the people with the most dollars are trying to make the most change, because that's what makes the most sense. You know, if you find yourself lost at any point in time, if you find yourself a bit disillusioned by what's going on, you're not alone. But you don't need to look to your elders for advice, or your colleagues, or your peers. If you're lost, you should probably talk to a 6-year-old, because they got their shit straight, you know? A 6-year-old would tell you to go to wherever the brightest colors lead you. A 6-year-old would say that every strip of pavement should be covered in colored chalk. A 6-year-old would say that the sky looks more beautiful when it's filled with bubbles. A 6-year-old would tell you that when it rains, it's the world becoming a giant water park welcoming you outside. But I think most of all, and most importantly, a 6-year-old would tell you that the circle will never fit in the square. And I think that we are grown adults desperately trying to shove the circle into the square. At a job that does more to destroy us than rejuvenate us, friends we've acquired from portraying someone we're not, in hopes that they might somehow grow to love who we truly are, but never showing them who that is. And then some people in relationships that have caused us to literally cut away what we love of ourselves in the hopeless pursuit of someone else's. I mean, we are carving our lives and our psyche to fit into a space we were never really intended to occupy. So I just want to live in a world where no matter how old any of us become, in our hearts and in our minds, we're all just 6 years old. Because that's how far back I had to go to remember a world worth remembering. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, thank you, Atlas. How are you able to get there?
Parks, toy stores, cartoons. Been watching a lot of like the cartoons and like TV shows that I grew up with, because like I don't, the stuff that's on TV now is just like, it has no theme song. It doesn't have anything catchy. It doesn't like make you want to watch, like continue the story. And most of the stuff now is just like, they just cherry pick things that worked in the past. They're like, oh, this should work now. But yeah, I mean, that's genuinely what I've been doing. It's pretty therapeutic. And I'm not like worried about like what people like being a grown man and watching cartoons and playing with toys. Like, I'm responsible for my mental health and well-being. So I don't have to work towards anyone else's approval for what works for me, you know?
Yes, I hear you. I feel that. Awesome.
Yeah, one of my big lines I've been telling all my friends is, you have to be with you all the time. You eat with you, you sleep with you. You're with you all the time. So it's in your best interest to do things and to be someone that you like, because you can never run away from you.
Truly. Yeah. And that's a task, learning to like yourself, you know, be with yourself. Yes. I feel that. Awesome. Thank you. Up, so we have Mimi again. Mimi.
Oh, okay.
I'll see if I can find something between time. All right.
Okay, this is. Oh, are you gonna go, Rayanne, or do you want me to go? You can totally
You
go.
can go. Oh.
Okay, so this one's kind of, bear with me, is what I will say on this poem. It's called, I just called to say I love you. Yes, I really do. Feel that encouragement, boo, rising up to the surface. Been a long time since some positivity spouted from your pores. I'm yours today. I stand with you. Snaps and stomps and claps and hops. Cry me a river and Nutty wine against the waves now. Tell me once again the uncomfortable story about all them slaves now. Sometimes we just gotta encourage ourselves, but it's better to encourage one another. I'm doing that today, and you don't get a say because everybody's feet in the bullshit, and mine's really smell like roses. You really are sunshine. So please stay shining. You're a boss. You're a king, a queen in the making. Slip me on today and I'll be your coat. La vie boheme today, you be the castle, I'll be your moat. I'll be the most. Live out loud. Scream out loud. Scream and shout. Jazz hands and spirit fingers. Energetic ones are gold. Sending valid vibes your way. Validation and intuition. You already know God is love. Time heals pain. The pain in your life won't last always. Life is woe. Show a little mo and stop raining on your own parade. Sizzling, shining, finally scribing, and Betty, you're doing great. Crown got tilted, I'm gon' stilt it from falling past the estuary stream. Black lives matter, all lives matter. Any matter is worth the chatter. Long live banter and soothing enchanters and leaders who have a testimony to share. Skip, bang, pop. Don't let the beat stop. Don't let your tune grow mute. Ba da ba ba. I don't know what I meant there. Ba da ba ba. Whip your head back and forth. God
Mhm.
gave you a choice, so live in faith and find your voice. And when I say today is going to be a great day, believe that. Because I didn't want nothing today except to call and say, I love you.
Yes. It was a barata. It was a scatting for me. Um, ah, I was like, all right. I
Dancing.
feel that. Sometimes you gotta scat.
Sometimes I'll write and I'll just how you get into writing and you don't even realize what you're writing until you read it back. June.
Yep.
And then you're like,
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
like
I'm
this,
there.
but I don't know how I'm gonna make it work.
Yep, I know exactly what you mean.
Oh, yes. Oh my God. I was here for that. Awesome. Thank you, Mimi. Yes, come listen to Mimi. Mimi is going to be a feature in the month of, is it May, Mimi?
It is May.
Yes, May
And
2nd.
Rayanne reminded me that it is Mental Awareness Month. That was something new to me. So that's gonna be my theme.
Yes, yes, it's my theme sometimes as well too. So
Yeah.
real fight the good fight, you know? Sometimes you gotta sketch your way in, sketch your way out. So I hear you, I feel you, I'm here with you, okay? Yes, so May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're going to have amazing features who are fighting the good fight when it comes to their mental health. And they're going to share just some of their stories and their poems. And yeah, I'm really excited because I am learning to advocate for mental health and for the arts. So anytime that I'm able to open the door up to just like different opportunities and stories that I feel like need to be heard, I'm just ecstatic. So I'm really grateful. So yeah, come by with us all May for the amazing features. Yes, June Powers, would you like to share a poem?
Well,
And
I think I will.
awesome, awesome.
This is a newer poem, and it is called I Am Not a Nervous Breakdown. So that works right in there with mental health.
Mhm.
She could see how the anxiety was a solid element in her life, almost a structure like the chair in the corner of her room, in contrast to a fluid oozing from a salted wound, or a vapor, intangible, nearly vague, but present and floating like it should be. Anxiety should be vague and floating. It's an emotion, rich with worry, rich with fear, creating more fear dressed as a fashion show of work, errands, and stupid tasks she kept doing. She kept doing, she kept doing, she kept going, propelled by an inner mechanism attached to base memories. Memories of flooded housing with mold so thick it could talk, and muggings when there was no money in the handbag. There was no money in the handbag, spent all on the groceries now spilled in the empty street. No one to help her collect the items. There may have been a discussion about this accident being her fault. Something like, why you take that street in the first place? It's dark on that end. Because it's our street, she would say. And the bus was full, so I had to stand, and I'm tired, but my mind is still going in a racing manner. And when are we going to move anyway? Aren't we supposed to be moving? Did you call the police for me? Can you please this once do something for me? She could see now how the past was her present, a constant taking shape like the chair in her room, like the clothes on the chair in her room, and the fact that her room was still on that street and the mugger was never caught. On Wednesdays, she prayed for fluidity and the ability to one day move freely. On Sundays, she wished for clouds to cover her heaviness. She wished to be intangible, vague, and floating. She felt she should be.
Yes. We are all going through something. To keep up with that poem.
Your voice got fuzzy. What were you saying?
Sorry.
That's okay. There you go.
I had some noodles, they were kind of spicy. Okay, so mood swings. I'm going to read them as mood swings. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. We're going to put up with these out here changing colors like a mood ring. Call me Maya Angelou. I too know about the kid. Brenda got kicked out too. Okay. All right. So I guess we'll introduce the feature. I met Heather, I don't even know when, at one of these events, probably California. And she's always just like so polite. And I started to realize how involved she is with the arts. Every event that I was showing up to, I knew for sure that I would see her. So and surrounding myself by people who are serious about the arts and who are advocating and volunteering and investing their time and their energy, and who understand that sometimes you're not really going to understand what you're going through, you know, or understand like, the whole full visual picture concept. So yeah, I will go ahead and go away.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm literally like running from one class to home to starting dinner to working on a project. And I have to remind myself to breathe, slow down, take some time. But like Rand said, I am always so involved in the arts. Today I had an older adult class and then a teen class, two separate spectrums. And it wasn't the easy breezy teens like I have tomorrow. These were some tough teens, to say it nicely. So tonight, thank you, Ram, for featuring me. I am going to give you kind of a smorgasbord of poetry. Um, I like to write whatever comes to mind, and it's so sporadic sometimes. I could be driving, which I have to do a lot, and I'll just record what I'm thinking. And that darn spell check, sometimes it puts something else there that I didn't want. So I just have to go back and check. But this poem here, Her Wings Were Too Short to Cover Me, this one is really a treasure to me because during COVID, I was home with two teenagers a lot, and my son plays the saxophone. And I've always begged him, please, please, let's perform together. And he's always like, mom, you're weird, whatever. And so he actually performed with me. He just came up with his own tune on his saxophone to this poem. And I have a painting that matches it of angel with her wings spread around a whole community. And it reminds me I need to repost it. But here it goes. Her wings were too short to cover me. But I am only human, she cried out. You view me as an angel, but I am not. Her wings were too short to cover me. I had on my ankles nicks and bruises and scars from the trials of the world. Her wings were too short to cover me, but I try my hardest, my very best to protect you, she cried. Her wings were too short to cover me, but she tried, boy, did she try. She tried her hardest with all her might. She tried until she was out of breath. But her wings were too short to cover me. She never gave up. It's just a little titty bit there. This one I like too. This one is probably everyone can relate to. Um, Comparisons of a heartache. So I compared it to quite a few things. um, Comparison of a heartache. It feels like a basketball slamming hard, so hard on the cold cemented pavement, like the sun beaming intensely on the peaks of your shoulders, like the high bass pitch pounding in your ears, like the heat of a pressing comb so close to the nape of your neck, like the cold of an ice pack pressed down hard over a swollen eye, like the glass of a picture frame shattering with grandma's photo inside, like the piercing of a splinter crammed deep inside your index finger, like the churning of an upset stomach ready to explode, like blistering of the eyes in the blazing inferno, like the suffocation of thorns wrapped tightly around the neck of a rose, like the cut of an orange's navel when fully ripened, like the interruption of a needle in a room that only once wore a cloak of silence, like the shrill of a newborn baby whose ears were pierced in the name of beauty, like the snip of a dog bite, purposely or by accident, like the smashing of an aluminum can. It's torment for recycling, like the plucking of eyebrows arched and sculpted, like an insult from a child whose face is hardened with no regret, like one broken nail out of a set of 10, now no longer belonging, like the throbbing migraine that grows through the eyes and rings out of the ears, like hunger pains piercing your side, knocking at your spine, like the dryness of a sore throat, raw and agitated. Like so many things, the heart aches, the heart breaks, the pain is deep, and the heart grows heavy, weary, tired, and broken. Comparisons of heartache. I've been kind of learning how to be more of a performer. So I kind of sing. So I like to mix my poetry with singing. And so I am going to share the one that I did at the gallery in Montclair Plaza. We have an installation there, and we put together a Black History event, and we had a lot of spoken word. And this one is in reflection of my grandmother. So usually when I do this poem, I come in full dress as an older lady with gray hair. I have a walker, I have house shoes on, the dress, everything. And I come in what I envision my voice to be. And then midway through, I take everything off and reveal myself as me. And that is the second portion of the poem. And a real funny story, I have an older adult class, and I came in one time to perform this as a surprise. And one of the senior gentlemen thought I was the new lady in class. and he was hitting on me. And while I was singing, he's in the background, yeah, sing it. And his sisters knew it was me, and it tickled them. They laughed and laughed at him. But here we go. This one's in honor of my grandmother. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. They call me Big Mama, and I am the root of this here tree. My blood runs deep into the soil. My arms stretch out into the branches, vines, and leaves. The spirit of me trickles down to my family. They are reflections of me. I wrap them up into the patchwork of me. My narrations are stories told of their history. From the curl in my hair to the length of my feet, I am history. A novel to be told, a story to share. These hands are illustrations of hard work, battles, and hurdles overcome. They reveal strength and patience. They envelop love. The tips of these hands paint portraits, hem skirts, and bandage wounds. They can build a house up and they can tear a house down. These hands are the limbs of me and the branches of you. These feet, large as they may, walked a long road. traveled through hardships and happy times. They have been bandaged from pain and dressed in love. These feet anchor me, my tree, and keep me standing tall. The shoulders on this here woman, this curled back, these wide hips help me support a lot. Loads are heavy, yet I stand. Times get tough, yet I stand. Burdens get layered, and here I stand, strong, willing, enduring the foundation. Now, my inner foundation is strong, but my outer is an armor. It withstands hurt, dodging those who wish to harm, enduring all changes in the season past and yet to come. This body is a tank. It may fracture but quickly heals. I have a tree to carry and a family to feed, babies to nurture, journeys to share, and lessons to teach. I am the root that create a foundation. I am the bark that offers protection, the rings that create history, the leaves. They are mine to offer shade and feed. I am the blossoms and fruit that fulfill others and exude happiness, passing the torch, spreading my heritage, reflecting my being into them for them. I am the root. I am the tree. I am the example. And so are you. That woman is a reflection of me. I am her and she is me. She calls me Little Tweety. She is and always will be a fixture in my being. I am but a puzzle piece of her. She is why I stand here today. Her fight was our fight, her battle ours. So I give homage for the queen who came before, who planted her roots. She grew my tree, who produced the fruit that produced me. So in return, I plant my roots and grow my trunk to branch out my limbs and produce my flowering fruit and pass along her history to the seeds I shall nurture to uplift my people and to give honor and thanks. I am grateful. I'm appreciative. We are here because of them. You are a tree because of your roots. Stretch out your limbs and pass down to your fruit, and your history be told. Stand strong, and together we prosper. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Thank you.
Yes. Love that piece.
I don't know, but I can't hear you. I think your connection is not good today. Should I keep going so you come on? I'll do curl in my hair. Curl in my hair. Woo! What has my hair ever done to you? You call it no good. You say it's too rough, coarse. Why is it bad? Could it be that my curls are too tight? They twist and turn in many directions. Is there a preference with straight? But is straight plain? And plain, where is the surprise? A hidden curl or two, a wave here, a frizz there, and a little fuzz or two. What's so bad about naps, or as I like to refer to them, complicated curls? Loop upon loop, lock upon lock. This is the good hair. Snug against my face, pressed close to my head, valleys and valleys of precious curls. One strand of curls, 1 yard of hair, tight and fitting, a puzzle piece to be sorted. Soft and smooth, tough and rigid, enduring and everlasting curls. That is good. Created and designed to fit me, my lifestyle, symbolizing my journey, reflecting my path, the good hair, the curly hair, the Afrocentric, God made me well, get with it, can't tell me nothing. I'm all that curl in my hair.
Yes.
There you are.
Here I am. Yes, I was complimenting your last poem and saying that that is my favorite, the one before this one.
Yeah, you have to see it in full ambiance.
Oh my goodness, it gets better.
Well, when I'm in dress, like one year we had a talent show, and I didn't tell the kids in the camp. We had about 150 kids that I was participating. And it was so funny because I came in with my little walker and everything. And one of the counselors thought I was someone's grandma coming for the show. And she was trying to get a little chair for me. She's like, ma'am, I have a little seat for you. I'm telling you, I be working that little role. I be hunched over with my little walker coming in.
And you say you almost met you an old man too, huh?
Oh, that was my older adult class. He was saying, yes, wade in the water, sing it. And his sisters knew it was me, so they were just cracking up, and he was just flirting and hitting on me. And when I took, because midway through, when I do the second part, I take off the wig and I take off the clothes. And he said, oh, heaven. And we cracked up. I always do it without letting anyone know, and then just surprise them.
Right.
That's pretty funny. Me, the one who's shy.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Or have blossomed. I mean, I didn't even know you were shy.
I really am.
I
Aldoni
thought
says,
I was the shy one.
no, I am. But I realized, you know what? You just, when you have like talents and you have things that need to be said, say it, do it, share. I used to do my paintings too, and only my friends and I saw them. And then I had a few little angels sitting on my shoulder saying, get that out there, put this in the show, do this and do that, because I wasn't doing that.
Mm.
And shy.
And now you're everywhere. At every
Yeah.
like organization, like teaching literally everywhere. Like how many jobs do you have?
Well, it seems like I have more because the Armory, you know, we teach in different locations. So that's why I'm what's considered my main umbrella there, because we have multiple. My main one is community because I like giving back. So we do a lot of stuff outside of the school. So we're in the parks and doing workshops, and in the senior living homes and the preschools and parks. And that particular program is mostly free. Like there's rarely a charge for that. And that's what I enjoy. Versus our studio classes can run like $300, you know, and
Wow.
you're getting the same quality, if not better, because I'm teaching it. With same quality art, you get instruction, you get everything. So it's just that it's free. It's like a give back. So it seems like I have way more jobs than I do. And then it's nice to move around and share with others. So yeah, that's why it seems like I have way more than I do. But I don't really. I kind of do, but not like what you think. And
Mhm.
so with the teaching is like a different, it's almost like a split personality. Like teaching, I go in there hands down, no problem. I'm not shy, you know,
Mhm.
because I think because I have like a different goal, a different mindset of what I'm trying to accomplish and focus on, and I want to enrich and uplift. So I go in with that mindset instead
Mm.
of, ooh, who's looking at me? No, that's not the goal. So
Right.
whereas when you're
Right.
on a microphone, it's like, who's looking at me? We become self-conscious
Yes.
and worry about how people think instead of just sharing our gift. So like you guys were so bomb, all of you guys reading. I was like, ooh, I need to write longer poems. See, already that little thing on your shoulder was like, ooh, girl, your poems be little. You better get up there and write. But I think I'm too much of a thinker. So I'm like all over the place with
Yeah.
ideas.
That's almost how we have to be, though,
Hmm.
all over the place with different ideas, but also different streams of revenue coming in, like you have to create those
Yeah,
all over
especially
the
to
place.
get gas for your car, you gotta have more than
Yeah,
one job.
right, right. So what is the long-term goal? You mentioned, your long-term goals to uplift, but what is the long-term, like tangible goal? I mean, uplifting is
Um,
tangible as well. So what
no,
other
I
goals?
just, you know what? I realized like growing up that we always felt like, oh, someone's copying me or someone's taking from me. And I
Mm,
think
mm,
I realize now like we don't share enough. We don't we don't share like information, how to
mm,
do things, our craft, how to create, how to teach, how to do all these different things that we do because we're so worried, oh, who's going to take my idea or who's going to do that? And that's why I think our communities are so deprived. And so
mm,
my long-term goal in going in and teaching is to give as much of me as possible. So yeah, it's an art class, but I may come in there as that little lady doing some poetry. Or 2 weeks ago, it was the last day of a session. I came in covered in full on sequins and told the kids, hello, darlings, theatric. And you can hear in the little clip, they all go, because it's like
mm,
creating memories of happiness and joy. And they're going to not only remember the crazy teacher who came in with the sequins, but why did she come in with the sequins? Because I
right.
was teaching them that the week before, one little kid said, my hands are hurting because he was drawing, but it wasn't from drawing too much, it was because it was pressing too hard. And I was showing him hand exercise. You may have seen that Aldonia likes to do with the twisting of the wrists and the hands and what have you. So when I was showing him to do that, I said, oh, this reminds me of my Zumba class where we do the dancing and I have my little shimmy skirt. And the teacher said, wait, wait, wait. Teacher's amazing at Webster Elementary. She went in her drawer and pulled out a long sheer scarf. And so I was doing the exercise with the hands. Twirl your hands, everyone. And she had her scarf dancing around. And so that made me think because I'm always thinking, like, okay, what can we do to make this stick? And so I was like, I should come in next week covered in the sequin fabric. It was blue turquoise, all sequin. And I was just covered head to toe. And I just came and I said, get your hands up, get ready to exercise. And they all jumped up, every single one of them. No one was embarrassed. No one was scared or shy. See, I created an atmosphere where they didn't have to worry about who's laughing or looking. And they all jumped up and were copying me doing the exercise. And I said, everyone twirl, even the teacher in the background with her scarf, twirling around. It was such a good class, such a good ending. And so, like, my long term goal is to create impressionable moments for kids that help them progress, grow, and create a sense of pride and well-being in them. Know that they're important. Because maybe at home they're not important. Maybe at home they having issues or abuse or whatever. But in that moment, they feel important. They feel like they're somebody. So when we do like a self-portrait drawing class, most of them won't look in the mirror. I give them all a little mirror. Most of them won't look in the mirror because they are busy picking out what they think is wrong with their face. So I have to physically go around to each kid one at a time and point out something, a feature, not even a characteristic, a feature like, oh, look at the shape of your eyes. You have the most beautiful almond shaped eyes, for them to look like, wait, I do? And then they start looking, or else they
Yeah.
won't. They'll flip their mirror down. It's really amazing. It's as little as elementary all the way up to the teenagers that do
Wow.
that. Even adults won't look in there. Oh, my makeup's not right. My hair is not right. They won't look, like, really look at themselves.
Mm.
So yeah, that was a long answer, but there you go.
I feel that says a lot about our culture, and that's admirable. I love what you said about sharing the information and sharing those resources.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, because they're out there and they exist. So
But
yeah.
how do we know if they're not shared? How do we know?
Mm,
Because some people know and they're holding on to it because they think, oh, this is for me to know. I don't want you to be better off than me.
mm, yeah. And the thing is, if we can all be better off, you know,
Yeah.
if we share that information. It's for somebody, somebody needs it and it'll come back, the moment that you send it to whoever
Mhm.
needs it, it will come back in return,
Mhm.
That's what I believe. So
I believe it too. Yeah.
yeah, I definitely feel that. When I find grants for artists or musicians, I try to, like, even if I just stumble across them, like, I try to send it out, like, because it's like I didn't stumble across this for no reason. Like, even though I'm not a
Mm,
musician, like, I found this for somebody, so I have to,
right.
pick it out, so that when I am in need, hopefully somebody will find something that is for me, like, yeah. But regardless of that, it's just doing that because it's just, why not, like,
I
yeah.
think that's so true. I have my assistant, she's very young, and she was complaining about one of the other teachers was being really mean to her. And um, a real long story, but I told her that a lot of times we look at each other as mirrors, and when someone that you are looking at is giving off those negative energies, it it's like it's reflecting onto you, and you start
Mm.
feeling that negative energy.
That's
And
true.
so you need a new mirror or something. You need to be looking somewhere else. I said, because I noticed when I said it takes one person literally to come in the room and be negative, and it ruins the whole balance of the class. But it
Mm.
also takes the same one person to come in just wonderful, and you like, woo, hey, and change your whole
Right.
way you feel about stuff. Just like the first day I met you, I was like, whoa, I like her. She's gonna be part of our circle right there, right away. Whereas
Uh-huh.
there's some others that come in, I'm like, no comment for me.
Hey, I've
Yeah,
I've been both. I've been on both sides of the spectrum. So I'm sorry to inform you that I haven't always been the light,
trust me.
inside of the room. Like, I've walked inside of a room before and probably been that negative energy. And it could have been that same exact day for somebody else. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
just,
No telling what you're going through that day too. I think that also plays a role too in how we treat others. I've been trying to teach my kids that, like, even when you're having a bad day, like my assistant, she was saying that other teacher, well, maybe she's having a bad day. No, not an excuse to treat other people poorly.
mm,
It's really is not. I've been in situations where one person creates such a terrible end result with a child because of it, because of the feeling that they have and the bodily harm that they cause themselves over it. And so I'm way more aware of how my presence affects others than I was before. You know, when you're a young adult, you don't care. You think you know everything in the world. I laugh at the stuff I thought I knew.
Right.
I
Yeah.
remember we went somewhere, we would try to go to a club and it was 30 and over. We was like, oof, that's the old people's club. We need to leave. Now it's like, whoo, that's the young people's club.
Right.
Learn. You learn from your mistakes.
Yes. Yes. This is true. This is definitely true. Work in progress. And yeah, learning from my mistakes for sure. For sure, for sure. Some of the decisions that I've made, it's all part of the journey though, you know? Yeah, it's all part of the journey. If I could go back and do it all over again, I probably wouldn't. But that's part of the journey, living through that. And embracing self and learning to like myself. We were talking about that earlier. Atlas was talking about loving yourself and being with yourself. Like you're the one person that you have to be with at all times of the day, like no matter what. And you have to learn to live with yourself and like yourself, beyond love, you know, like genuinely like who you are as a person.
Atlas was the reason why I said, oh, I need a longer poem. Atlas was jamming with that. It was so good.
Yes, and his cadence, he can tell a story for sure.
Yes.
Thank you for being the feature for tonight.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone. Miss June, thank you for sharing too. I really enjoyed as well.
Oh,
she's dope.
Thank you so much. Your performance was magnificent.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I'll take compliments. It used to be hard to take compliments. Now I'm like, I take them.
Oh no, let them pour it on.
Thank you. I feel like I've seen you before. What city do you live in?
Right now I'm in Phoenix. I've lived in Georgia for a hot minute.
Wow.
And I grew up outside of Philadelphia.
Okay, maybe you're my auntie or something I didn't know about. You're so familiar.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, let's see. We still have a little bit more time left. Atlas and June, would you like to do one more piece?
Sure.
Take it away.
Does Atlas want to go? Or you want me to go now?
Yeah, you can go.
Okay.
You can go. I have an endless repertoire of stuff at any given time. You're good.
Yeah, me too. Okay. This is called 3 Trains. And it's about a nanny. The missus will be late tonight, knowing you have to pick up your child. It takes 3 trains to get there. You say you don't mind, knowing you do mind. In fact, you are sick inside and miss your baby already, just left her at the service. Every day your heart tears. Every day you miss her all day. Inside your heart tears and asks for more time to figure things out. How did this happen? What is it about when your child is in a community room of strange cribs and the baby paid for the baby you are paid for trusts you, confuses you with his own mother? Little fingers grab your finger when you sing to them. What is the lullaby about? You need to figure out how 2 thoughts every day, all day, can become 1 thought, 1 focus of concentration, all-consuming love, without a time frame or 3 trains, without you sick inside, heart tearing, saying you don't mind. When you do mind, you mind so much it hurts.
Ouch.
Yes. That poem was inspired by two movies. One is called Paris, Je t'aime, and it's a series of vignettes about different people's lives. And one of them was had this very situation. And there's another movie called Hilda, and it was on the independent circuit. Her husband worked for a couple, and they kind of tricked his wife to come and work for them and watch their grandchild, knowing that they already had their own kids. So it was quite a wild movie.
Sounds like it. What's the name of that movie?
Hilda.
Hilda.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, the husband had to break her out of there.
Oh, Lord. Atlas, how are you going to follow that? You're on mute.
Oh, I said, let's see. Is everyone still here? Is Heather still here?
Yeah, I think
I
she
am
said.
still here.
Okay, so that one was nice, which means, sadly, this one probably won't be. Like I said, I'm not good at being super positive, but I try. One moment.
I think you are great at being super positive, Atlas. Yeah. You got your
No.
blue on, you know? You're great at being vibrant and positive.
There it is. Hold on. Okay, this is gonna drive me crazy because I have all this stuff. See, I create like a whole little organizational folder and it all goes to crap. Hold on.
I love when I do that. And then I have to find the organizational folder that I created.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm just gonna go back to, I'm gonna do this and then, wait, is it this? No, it's not this. Okay, I'm so organized ordinarily. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Hold on. And okay, here we go. I'll do this one. I'm fairly certain I did this before, but oh well. Does anyone have an opinion I can borrow? I used to have one of my own, but individual opinions have become so expensive these days. Last I checked, they've been costing people their social media accounts, some of their friends, invitations to family members' dinners, and those are the less expensive opinions. I need only go online to check a few of my emails, and I am bombarded by tons of articles about some people having opinions that cost them their job, their freedom, their career. I can't afford to lose any of that, especially since I barely have any of that to lose. And I've wasted so much money as it stands. I went and I got this fancy TV and all these streaming services, but every show I try to watch ends up getting canceled or having one of the characters fired or changed because, well, you know, opinions. I got this laptop, but I can't seem to use it for anything other than short, safe, work-related communication. I pay for my phone, but I can't call and talk to anyone or voice my opinions. or how I feel, I don't feel safe or comfortable communicating with everyone, with anyone, because apparently no one close to me feels close to me. I mean, sure, people are suffering from drug overdose, alcohol poisoning, and suicide, from feeling as though they have no one to talk to and no safe space to be heard. But apparently, the more pressing matter is that some people are getting quite offended by what they read and what they choose to listen to. I mean, sure, every single person that has ever made a significant impact on the world we live in started their journey because they were offended, but decided to do something positive about it. Every inspiring movie we've ever seen, every fascinating book you've ever read, every compelling speech we've ever listened to, all of those are the lasting echo of someone who didn't like what they saw, but chose to make something better. But building something, oh my God, it's exhausting. Takes way more time than just having something removed or destroyed. Starting something, like something new, requires a much greater investment than simply canceling something else that already exists. And borrowing someone else's opinion seems to be much safer and much cheaper than forming and expressing one of your own. I mean, there's so many crazy bullies out there. It makes total sense that you would have your keyboard courage and bully other people into not bullying you, because, you know, that's just how you burn the whole forest down, I think. I had my own thoughts, my own feelings, my own opinions, but I lost them somewhere along the way. While meandering through life, trying my best to gain the acceptance and approval of everyone I came across, I somehow lost track of what actually mattered to me. I somehow misplaced my identity. I was so busy stumbling, trying to keep up with everyone else, that I just dropped all the beliefs I was holding on to. I lost myself and seemed to have developed an overwhelming sense of self-hatred. I mean, it was so important that everyone liked me. Important enough that I never really liked me. And they never really knew me. And then it became easier for me to just forget what it was that I was trying to remember in the first place. So then I guess I'm just nothing. But nothing offensive, because, you know, opinions. So please, pretty please, does anyone have an opinion I can borrow? Thank you.
Wow.
Wow. Amazing. I have heard that one. And it still resonates. For sure. All right. Well, thank you guys for vibing with us tonight. Shout out to our amazing feature, Heather. Heather, would you like to close this out for the night? We can't hear you.
Give me 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah, it's been an amazing night. dope feature. Atlas, the famous Atlas, came and popped in tonight and hit us with some great pieces. I'm gonna have to get your signature. Also send you guys the care package. How are you doing, Atlas?
Remembered. I did a whole piece on like how important it is to ask someone like how oh the fact that you asked me, yeah. So for June and anybody else, it was talking about the importance of like genuinely, wholeheartedly asking somebody how are you, because we become so conditioned that it's like hello, like oh hey how are you, or like you're in a store like oh how are you, and like nobody really wants to know. That's very sweet. I'm doing okay. I have been, if you look at like the link tree and the stuff, I've been very, very busy trying to be as accessible as possible, creating a bunch of content and sort of like mentally purging this stuff, because if it lives in my head, I can't live anywhere. Um, so I've been working on that, and then I do stand up comedy, which I know it's like a whole other thing. Um, but the comedy scene's been really great. I've been getting booked and paid and like professional comedian now.
Hey.
Yeah, I could tell.
Really?
Yes, I could tell in your poetry. I was thinking like he must do some kind of comedy because some of your things have that undertone.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's like that. It's great that you would say that, because the poetry stuff is like it's intense. So if people laugh, it's usually because they're nervous. Whereas the comedy stuff, I mean, it's similar like social satire, but it's definitely geared towards like, you should probably laugh now, and I won't find it insulting at all. Um, so it's great that you noticed that. Maybe just because I'm a sarcastic asshole, you're like, he would probably be successful telling jokes as well.
No, I agree. Some of the things like I would catch and I said, oh, he's funny.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I've just been trying to be like as productive as possible. For me, that is what you were saying before, Rayanne, and a lot of others, like mental health, like where the mind goes, the body follows. And before 2020, like before COVID, it was already basically going to be the focus of our attention in the U.S. because the high overdose, the high suicide, depression was a huge issue before COVID, before massive job loss, before isolation, before loss of community. You got to think like people with AA and NA meetings, they haven't had those. People's churches were closed down. And so those are all basically like the support pillars. And when you knock them down, like the stability mentally just shatters for so many people. Like for every one person who's died of COVID, 3 people have killed themselves, but nobody wants to talk about that.
Right.
So it is immensely important. And like, I don't know if you guys are seeing these commercials for like Better Health or Better Help, where like they're trying to talk. And did you know like the suicide hotline? It's gonna be as easy to call as 911. They're gonna make it like I think 811 or 511. So if you're having a mental health crisis or you're having suicidal thoughts, you'll get a mental health professional who's able to talk to you. But I mean, that's how big of a deal it is, that it is an immediate emergency and people need to press 3 digits or less to get help. So it is amazing that you guys create this. While I am appreciative for the people who are here, I am astonished that like there's not like 85 people coming through here, and not to like talk bad about other mics, but I think because there is no ego here, and all those other people, especially on Monday nights, I'm sure you've heard about the other online mics. It's just like, oh, the list is closed, but we have like 96 people who are waiting to go up. And it's just like, really? Like, whereas here this really just feels like a community. It's not like, oh, is my piece doper than your piece? Am I getting like more snaps, more comments, more? It's all just like, this is me being transparent, weak, vulnerable, but also authentic. And I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate You as well. Yeah. It's been a journey, and all of us kind of like familiarized ourselves with each other. Like, so yeah, I appreciate you guys for like being vulnerable, allowing yourself to get comfortable and like sharing, like because we've all been through different things like throughout this time. Like, and it's so amazing to see you guys grow, and to see myself grow as well, like throughout this process and this journey, like, and to just feel safe, in this space that we are opening up, and just, yeah, it's like if I'm having an off day, somebody else is feeling amazing and great, and like, and is able to like give me that balance or give us that balance and vice versa. So I appreciate all y'all.
Thank you.
Yes. We're going to send you a care package too.
All right. You know what's so funny? People are like, I can't believe that you always put your number and your address. Like every mic, everywhere, I always make myself as accessible as possible because I'm no celebrity. And they're like, "Oh man, aren't you worried about like people having your address or people knowing your number?" I'm like, what are they gonna do with it? Like, but I got a few cards. I got a letter. Yeah, but they don't want to put their name. That's like super. Somebody from Colorado keeps writing me. Somebody in Washington. I got like a fan in Vermont. I got 2 people in Maryland, but only
Wow.
one person actually puts their name on the envelope. I'm like, why be so cryptic? You know who I am. You know where I live. Like, just talk to me. What's up? I'll take what I can get.
All right. Awesome. Well, I'm happy to hear that you're doing okay. Is the family doing okay as well?
We're all good.
Awesome. Good to hear. We'll send you guys all a care package.
Bring
geared
it.
towards everybody. All right. Who's closing us out? Heather.
All righty.
All right.
I'm gonna close this out with a short one. I am a starving artist. Here I am, a starving artist, doing my best to survive, creating and designing art for your pleasure. Can you spare a dime? Starving, that's me, to share to the world my poetry that flows through this blue pen, to express a feeling I have at the time or create something to make you smile. I am here, starving, an artist exposed, offering the spirit of my inner core, releasing aggression, sadness, happiness, and joy, all with the stroke of a pen or a brush. Feed me. This artist is starving. Help a sister out. Uplift her heart with your compliments and desires of a purchase of the creations that bubble out of her. I'm experiencing hunger pains and need to feed this artist that is inside of me. The beggar, the whiner, the lady with the plea, starving, starving before thee. For I am an artist. Art feeds my soul. It makes me whole. It helps me grow and makes me strong. It fills me with a song, opens me up to the world before us. An artist starving. Right here before you, I am a starving artist. And just a tidbit, guys, I'm a visual artist too. So that goes both ways. This is why you see all this junk behind you is art junk that my husband threatens to throw away. But it's my goodies. So he gets no access to this room.
Awesome. Well,
Thank you for
being
having me.
here.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Let us know about, what day is it? The 26th?
Yeah. Can you call me tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
Can we talk it
Tuesday.
through? Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Call me in the morning before class. So call me like let's see, class. Call me before 11.
Will do. All right. Well, thank you guys all for joining us. June, let's stay in contact. I'll send you an email, Atlas, vice versa, likewise. It's good to see y'all.
All right.
Bye. Have a good night.
Enjoy the
everybody.
rest of your night.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Yeah. And Jenny, thanks for joining. Bye.
Thank you, Jenny.